And now, without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylic. Well, good evening, Miss Ginger.
Hey, hi everybody. Hi, John.
What are you doing? Oh, that camera's on the wrong angle.
Which one?
The one's pointing to you.
Okay.
Let's straighten you up a little bit.
Okay.
Hold on, people. We're going to move her around.
Forgot to set my camera, huh?
Well, we had it, but it just wasn't quite where I wanted it.
So we still have Starry Night behind us too. Yeah. I mean, the Starry Night
right.
behind us.
Starry Night's good. All right, and you're on.
Okay. Can I see, please? Would you turn the thing around? Thank you. All right. Good. Good. So we're just always Mondays are just tough for us. I don't know what it is about Mondays, but
They're Monday.
They're Monday. There must be. It's just this crazy Monday. That's what it is.
Every
Crazy
day's a Monday to us.
Every day's a Monday. Well, anyway, welcome. This is our acrylic painting show today. John and I are going to answer questions from our live audience. If you're tuning in later, that's why you're going to get a lot of dialogue. And, dialogue, something. Anyway, we're going to be chatting a bit. We're going to be painting, and I'm going to do something kind of different. Normally, because of the way we shoot this, and what I mean by that is the way we film our videos, we usually keep it pretty small. We're going to be doing, I'm going to hold this up, we're going to be doing a 10 by 16 canvas, which is kind of neat.
Hold it up.
And then what's interesting about this is that, you can do it on any size canvas. I'm just doing it on this one to show you, but whatever you got's fine. Okay, this painting is by Cezanne, Paul Cezanne. He was one of the Impressionists that hung out with Monet and Renoir and those guys. They were a gang. And they were all friends, and they all painted the world in new ways. And people at the time couldn't stand it, but now they're like super famous. Okay, how's that? At the time,
Perfect. Nobody
Nobody got it. But anyway, we get it, and that's what we're going to be doing. I always like the old dead guys are kind of fun because you can learn so much from them, So, and one of the things I did with this canvas was that I covered it with something called light modeling paste. That.
I believe you used the absorbent ground.
On this one, you think so?
Yes. Feel it.
Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe. Are you sure? This was a long time ago. Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, if you didn't, you could use light modeling paste or absorbent ground. Either one would work. And Golden makes absorbent ground. And basically what it does is it makes the paint feel a little bit like it's more on paper. Now, if you'll notice when John puts the painting up in the corner of our view screen, you're going to see that even though he did this in oil, it has the feeling of watercolor. It has that everything's sort of bleeding in the background, all sort of bleeds into itself. So, it's just kind of cool. I mean, it's a different way. We do a lot of florals on my website, and we do a lot of florals on YouTube because people like to paint florals, but there's a lot of different ways to paint them, okay? So, before I get any further, please subscribe to the channel while you're right where you're thinking about it, okay?
Right now. We'll wait.
We'll wait. Just subscribe now because here's the deal. We have learned from YouTube that about 50% of all viewers kind of watch and don't subscribe, and nobody sends you secret emails or knocks at 3 o'clock in the morning on your house. Nobody knows. You're anonymous.
Oh, wait a minute. I answer emails at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but we don't send them to people. We don't get their emails. John, we don't get people that subscribe to the channel. Are you not listening? That subscribe to the channel. We don't send them emails.
We will.
How would we do that?
I don't know, but I'll come up with a way.
No, we want them to subscribe. Quit scaring people.
Okay,
we don't do that. So
all
please,
right.
None of that happens. He's lying. None of that happens. Okay. We have people here. English is their second language. Who knows what they think
English
he said?
is barely my first language.
We've noticed. Okay. So, all right.
Before you go anywhere,
we're
being challenged on the size.
Yeah, 10 by
20.
I lied. It's 10 by 20.
Thank you, Miss Judy Guitar.
Thank you, Judy. I lied. 10 by 20. Good catch. Okay.
This is a 10 by 20 for this evening's show.
But you could use an 8 by 10. It doesn't really matter, okay? Because you're going to just make your vase a little smaller.
Oh, wait, I have an important announcement, Nate. They wanted me to make sure that I say something to you. John, please make sure to tell Ginger she looks so great tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate it.
Please, this is all we need. I can't even get her head in the room now.
Oh, stop. Stop with yourself. Okay, so now what we're going to do, thanks, Judy. I really appreciate it. And incidentally, I told everybody, Sue Clark won our giveaway on.
Oh yeah, happy on birthday, Sue.
Happy on birthday. It really wasn't her birthday. It just, my nickname is Magoo here when I read things. I thought she said it was her birthday in a comment, but it was not her birthday. But it's like a birthday because she'd had a terrible week, and she won the giveaway. And speaking of giveaways, we're going to do a couple more of those tonight. So
are we?
Yeah, we are. Feature announcement. I'm going to be painting while I'm doing this big one. I'm going to do a couple of little small ones. Comme ça. That's French for like this. And
you can put them down because
are we down now? Yeah, I'm going to do. These are little 6x8 pieces of canvas, and whenever we're done with a palette, a painting, there's a little leftover paint. We just cover canvases, 8x10 little ones. John does that for me, and then these make great little sketchy things. So we're going to give away a couple of these. We'll paint these live. Some lucky person, I just lost them. It just lost the microphone because I don't know where you're putting it these days, but you ought to fix it. So everybody, I'm sure, can still hear me, but you ought to fix that anyway. We've only been doing this a while. It's just ought to go back on the easel or something. So, all right. So the reason I'm showing you these is because we have a lot of florals. You'll see them on our website, and you'll see them on YouTube. This happens to be one that was on our website. We have another one by Mary Cassette, who was one of our old dead artists. It was another really beautiful one of lilacs. But again, this is painted very differently, isn't it, than the one we're going to be doing tonight. It's a totally different way to paint something. Here's some roses we did for Valentine's Day. Very nice. That's on our website, gingercooklive.gallery. But again, it's not painted the same way. But there's certain things that are all painted the same way, and that's pretty much the vase and stuff. And depending on how we do the background. So let's put out some paint. I'm a big fan of that, if you guys are. Let's put out some paint. Kind of ran out of my little labels, but you'll bear with me. The colors we're going to be using are phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, cad red medium, yellow oxide, burnt umber, and purple. Dazzling purple. Pretty much it. Those are our colors. And, if you wanted to use phthalo green to make your vase, I think he probably did. We're going to mix that color, but you would not be amiss to do that, to use phthalo green. That would be one of the few times you might want it because it's a very bright green vase, if you guys noticed that. Very pretty bright green vase.
I'd like to thank Miss Brooke for the donation.
Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. The thing is about this donation stuff is we really appreciate it. You can only do it during the live shows. As little as $1 goes a long ways. We really appreciate it. We scholarship a few people every month who want to take art lessons and get some art critiques from our website, and just isn't in their budget. But I have to say that it's really, when you think about it, we have over 300 lessons on our website. I'm putting out some ultramarine blue now, and they come with personal art coaching. But I've got an announcement. I'm going to tell you something. John is working on a new separate page for our store. Those are the videos that you can download and own forever. Some people like to do that just like you like to own books. Also, if you're traveling, what's nice about that is that when you're traveling, you don't have to be connected to an internet. You just have to be able to get on to the... some people have poor internet. Some people have poor internet, right? And so, you just have to be able to, to turn on your computer and have it plugged in. You don't need an internet connection, which can be very, very handy.
That's once it's been downloaded.
That's the download one. Now, normally, when you get lessons on our website, you don't download them. And for the time that you're a member, if you're a member for a week, that doesn't come with personal art coaching, but you have access, whatever you can put together in that time, kind of a buffet of really, it's a buffet of really that's a great word for that, isn't it?
It's a buffet of lessons.
It's a buffet of lessons because there's such a variety that you can choose from, and whatever you can eat up with your mind in that week. And maybe you just want to watch a few things and then try to paint something. But normally it's $26.95 a month. That's as of 2017. And the neat thing about it is when you become a member, whatever level that that you membered at, your membership started at, seniors get a really great break if you're over 60 or in the military, of $21.95 a month, and that's with personal art coaching, you guys. That's the break you get on that is terrific. But we got to thinking, as we're always trying to come up with things that are helpful for a large number of people. Incidentally, if you guys don't own Dazzling Purple,
go buy it now.
Go buy it, because it's just one of those. I learned that from a gal by the name of Bonnie Newman. Cinnamon was going to junior college at the time and taking an art class, and they weren't going to let her have the class because there weren't enough people. And I got a couple of my girlfriends, because we were in the district, and we went up there and took this art class with Cinnamon so that she'd get the class, so she'd get the credit. And, you can always learn. So I easily taught the class, but the thing of it is you can always learn something from somebody knows something if you don't know it. And what I learned the most from Bonnie Newman was how to stretch a canvas. I had no idea how to do that up until then. And also she taught me, and I've taught a million people since then how to stretch a canvas.
At least a million.
Yeah, I had probably over a million. I had over 750,000 views before we lost that video on YouTube on how to stretch a canvas, and then we still have it up there, but not as many people are seeing it. But we had the most watched video on how to stretch a canvas, and I learned that from Bonnie.
Okay,
so
before you go too much further,
what?
The canvas that you're currently going to paint on, is that ground put on smooth or with a textured stroke?
Actually, I did. I can feel it. I put it on with a textured stroke.
You did it with a palette knife.
I just did it with a palette knife, so it's got some texture in it.
Kind of do that to it.
Yeah.
Take it back and forth so we
can
see
you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see the texture in it?
Let me zoom in a little bit so they can see. Basically, what she did is she put it in like icing.
Like icing on a cake. Yeah, exactly like icing on a cake. And I added a little color to it. Okay, this is sort of this beige color. Sort of a buff titanium, just so I'd have it, I'd have it. But it's a nice thing to do. Modeling paste it works really well, and so does the absorbent ground from Golden. And it takes about 24 hours to dry, so it's not something you can do right away, but it can be very handy because it gives you that sort of paper-like stuff. And so what I want to do is I've got my paints out, you'll notice there, and I'll put my white back in here. And so I started to tell you we had this sort of neat idea. Before you asked me about that, probably seems people think we're total nut jobs because I'm telling you one thing and then I say, oh, by the way, you could use this other color, or as I think of it, I like to mention these things. A lot of people on YouTube, they just do voiceovers. Did you know that? Which is fine. I've done a few. I've tried that and it's fun. But I'm just saying it's a challenge to think of new things and tell you all the stuff I have to remember to tell you and paint at the same time. It's really. If I started chewing gum now, we'd really be in trouble. Okay, I want to come up about this far. I'm just eyeballing it in, looking at his, and that is looking at my ruler about 6 inches up from the bottom. And I'm going to take this little T-square and I'm just going to draw a line like that, okay? Like that, just with a little piece of chalk so I know where I'm at. This is where I'm at here. And put that out of the way. What I want to do is take a fairly large brush, and I'm going to mist the background with a spray bottle mister. This is not your Windex bottle. This is a fine mister, kind of like the old hairspray bottles used to come in, right? Remember when the fine pump misters? It's just going to mist this a little bit, and that's going to cause it's like kind of a watercolor artist's secret is doing that. Okay, so now we want a really light blue up in here. You did all these pretty light blues and greens. So what I'm going to wet the brush, and this is one of these Bristol-on brushes. It's a number 12, but you could certainly use another good one too. Maybe even better than that would be. This is a filbert, and it's got kind of a rounded edge. Let's just change my mind. I want that one. The nice thing about owning a lot of brushes is that you can change your mind and do different things. But any old brush probably would work, but this is a nice big one. So I want to cut a lot of material. Now I've got a little blue here, phthalo blue. Look, isn't that pretty? Now we're not going to tone this down too much. I might take just a dab of raw umber, or rather burnt umber. You could use raw umber too, but burnt umber. And I'm going to come up here like that into my up here where the wall is, right? Now the secret is to this, right? This is the secret to painting this, is that it all, now look here, that's a different, I add a little more brown to that. Maybe I'll take a little ultramarine blue now on the brush, come over here and add some color like that. What we're trying to do, and I'm kind of holding the brush flat and just sort of moving it around, and you don't have to worry about doing exactly like mine. It kind of reminds me of torn paper. Have you ever torn any tissue paper and decorated with it?
I'm going to have to say no.
Well, this is fun. This is great fun. Back when I was first married, back in Aspen to Cinnamon's dad, she was born like 5 years later, but I couldn't afford wallpaper, and I really wanted to have wallpaper. And so what we did was, you can see now I'm going to do a lighter color here. Turn my brush over and kind of work the edges in like that. I might wet the brush again, tap it off on a rag, and come back and do something else here. Going to do this, maybe take a little of this. Anyway, so I got this Liquitex still was making, back then, this was 1967 or something. Liquitex was still making gloss, medium, and varnish. They were making that stuff. And they were the only acrylic paint out there, and I happened to have some, and I discovered it works like a glue. So I tore up a bunch of tissue paper, very much in these colors, and then I took the varnish and I put it on the bathroom wall, and then I put the tissue paper on there and kind of stuck it and then varnished over it, and I kind of overlapped and crossed the pieces, and I got a package of like different blues and some greens. So similar to this, it's not funny. And anyway, that was I did the whole bathroom for like $2, and then I did the wastebasket and some toothpaste. I mean, it looked really good. Of course, it was on there forever, but yeah. Anyway, that's what this reminds me of.
Question about the absorbent ground. Does it suck up the paint or just create a texture?
It sucks the paint up a little bit like paper. See what I'm doing? You can. It acts a little bit like paper. Okay. So see, I've got a little bit. There's something a little darker up here in the corner.
Hey, we'd like to thank you, Yvonne, for the donation.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for the tutorials, you lovely people.
Oh,
that's
you guys
us.
are so
We're
nice.
lovely people.
We are. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and blue and make a green like that. See that little bit of green color? And I want to come up in here like this while this is still wet. Maybe bring that over there like this. Maybe up here like this. And what's kind of neat is the edges are going to wick. That's a good example. It's going to wick into the background. Now I'm going to rinse the brush because that was really all the green there was that little bit up there. Let's keep going with the phthalo blue and the a little bit of white, and it's just coming along here like that. We're saying here's some phthalo blue. Wipe my brush off. Use the side of it and kind of melt those edges in. I think I have to mist the background a little bit more because it's not, it'll wick more if you do that. And as we come down to here, now here's something. Acrylic is essentially plastic. Oh, no kidding, it is. It's plastic. So, when acrylic dries, it's going to leave a plastic coat, and at some point, it's going to fill up all the little pores in the ground, and it's not going to be as absorbent. Does that make sense?
So do you have to basically do this fairly quickly?
Well, I'm just saying that if you can't, the more you go over it, the less absorbent looking it's going to be.
That's true.
All right,
because you're going to be doing plastic on top of plastic.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to fill up all the little pores,
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's put a little bit more blue and ultramarine blue in there. Just put a little dab of something. What was that from Brill Cream? A little dab will do you, right? Okay, and I've got a little of that background showing through, and that's fine. That's good, and maybe I'll take a little bit of white and yellow oxide like that and put a little bit of, there was a little bit of that in here too. Did you see that in his? Just kind of barely touch it and lay that on there like that. Maybe something like that over here. Just kind of keep it flat and light. And then you see how easily, do you see how easily we painted this background? Aren't you kind of impressed? I mean, that's the background. It was pretty fast too, huh? And again, now this bottom part was a little different. I think I will wait to do the bottom part until we do our vase. to draw the vase in, and then I think I'll do the bottom part around it. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, let me just come down here to the, sure I get down here to this part. Okay, I'm going to take the similar colors, but we're doing the yellow oxide, more of the yellow oxide, okay? And I want to come down here like this, a little bit of white, a little tiny bit of cad red medium, okay, like this. Come down into this area, and I'm going to put some of that color down in here, like that. And I didn't wet this. There's more green in here and some blues. Now see, my brush had paint on it, so just doing this, see what it's doing? Are you backed out enough where you can see it?
Yes, ma'am.
See, so I'm just saying that there's some color here. Then I'll come back with a little blue back up in here around our vase. And again, you can put more colors later. This is what we said we're doing here. Okay, and then back in the front here, it was sort of brown green, kind of a brown, very green color. Little yellow oxide, little phthalo blue, and it was kind of green in the front here, like that. And we'll put the shadow later. So that's what it does when you don't mist it. That's it's not as wicky. Huh, is that the word, wiki?
Not as wiki.
Not as wiki. All right, so, see, but I still want to kind of soften those edges. It's a nice technique. And a lot of people would suspect that you had done watercolor. I'm going to go right over that brown chalk.
The original was an oil painting.
Yeah.
Which I was very surprised at.
Yeah, it was an oil painting. Yeah. So Cezanne did this, and I think it's just very interesting. You know, maybe when you're sitting down with some flowers. This is a great, florals are a great excuse to buy yourself some flowers at the grocery store. I'm going to paint them, and then of course they'll be in the living room, and yes, they're for me, but I was going to paint them anyway, right? So now you have an idea of how to do a background if you were to buy some flowers, and see about doing something like this. What do you think? Okay.
A great idea.
So, all right, now what I have to do here is really dry this, all right? And it's going to be a little bit more tricky because it's absorbent, but I want to just hold the picture up like this. Can you guys see what I've got? Like that. I'm going to really go ahead. You see the texture more now, don't you, with the paint? I'm going to go ahead and dry this. And John, do you have any startling things you can share with people while I'm drying?
Not a thing, but I'll talk to them just the same.
Ready?
Yes, you're muted. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us this evening. If you have not subscribed and aren't a subscriber, please do so. That way you'll know when we do an instant live. Sometimes we do them on the weekends or other times during the week. And you'll get notified by email, or depending upon your notifications, it could go to your cell phone. We do have a painting we're going to show you from the pumpkin painting where Ginger added some gel on top of it. I'll have her, when she gets back, I'll have her do that. That seems the picture-in-picture is a cook. That is Cezanne's original. The picture in the picture is Paul's original. Because Ginger did, we only had the one canvas. We don't have a spare canvas, so she is doing this on the fly tonight, guys. You can see it being created and painted right before your very eyes. Pretty amazing if you ask me. Tomorrow, we're not sure what we're going to be doing. We do have a lesson at 7:30 p.m. Central, once again. And I do not know. She has not picked out what she'll be doing, which is always fun for us. So, with that, she's back. The painting from the weekend is down there by the side. You want to show that with the gel that you did to it.
Oh, yeah. You guys want to see what happened when we put the gel all over it? And someone says, what gel? We used Liquitech, golden. I think it was golden. Who was it? Golden? Yeah.
It was golden.
Golden gloss gel. And here's the painting that we covered with the gel and all the texture.
Tip it a little. Yeah, there you go. So
can you see that? Can you see the wonderful texture on this painting?
Now, the whole thing has not been varnished yet, so you have some glossies and the regular matte, but it looks kind of cool, doesn't it?
Well, isn't that just neat? And you see it all dried clear, and these sunflowers now have all this marvelous texture on them, like you'd done that all, well, we did some of that with paint too, but look, isn't that beautiful? That's what we did that's one of the tricks that we showed you how to do. And when you touch this stem, you can almost feel the texture. It feels like it's come right off the canvas. So that's a great trick. You can do that with any painting.
Hey, we'd like to thank Maria for the donation. She says, "Thank you so much, Ginger. What a joy to watch, listen, and learn as you paint. Gotta love your sidekick comments. Blessings."
Thank you. We appreciate it so much. This is so nice. Okay, it's chalkboard time.
Chalkboard. I need music for chalkboard time.
I guess we do. We should have music for chalkboard. It's chalkboard time. Okay, so friends, here's the deal. There's no traceable for this because, who knows what size you're going to make it. It's a stem and a tulip. This is really in circles. This is so easy, okay? However, let me just show you the trick of doing any vase. Wine glass vase, doesn't matter what it is. Start with a rectangle if you're going to have a vase that's going to be kind of this shape, right? Like that. Everybody's good with that? Okay. Now, maybe you want to come in the same distance on each side and the same thing on each side up here like that. See the little dots? Okay, now if your vase is going to come in, right, then you'd come in the same distance on both sides like that, right? You with me? And then maybe it's going to come up here the same distance on both sides. So now watch here. Okay.
Well, how'd you do that? Look at that.
You've got a vase, okay?
Well,
so whatever you do on one side, you just you've got to figure out the middle of it, right? Now, if you wanted the vase fatter, whatever you did here, you could have it. You just have to do the same thing. And if you have a rectangle, then you know exactly how far the line is that you have to cross, all right? Okay? So, I mean, really, vases are very simple. There's no reason in the world to get them cattywampus. That means English is your second language, and if you're tuning in from somewhere else, that means crooked. It's a slang expression. I don't know where it came from, but we don't know. All right.
Cattywampus?
Cattywampus.
It's been around for years.
So it's been around forever. So I'm going to just show you. So if you wanted a fat vase, right, just do this marks on the same side, right? Maybe you're going to start it here. Like that, start it there, and then curve it around, like that, and it's kind of level on the bottom. And then, maybe you're going to come down here like this and do that. Okay, so I mean, that's really as simple. You just start with your rectangle and work from there. I mean, wine glasses are the same thing. I mean, if you think about it, wine glasses are going to be the same thing. I mean, I say this to you, find the center for your stem. I mean, really.
Basically, everything can go in a box.
Yeah, if it can fit in a box. And the biggest thing I see people have trouble is ovals. They have, for some reason, drawing an oval. But an oval is a circle
rectangle
that will fit in a business-sized envelope.
Ooh.
Business-shaped envelope, see? So, and if you need a smaller oval, skinnier one, make yourself a thinner rectangle so that it doesn't get away from you. Cool, right?
We had a question to go flying by.
Yeah.
Where does Ginger go to find her old dead guy's painting to paint?
I go up on the internet and I look around.
GOOGLE.com.
What? Google. Yeah. We go up on the internet and we look for old dead artists.
Old dead artists. Put in old dead artists.
Ginger,
can you tell me how you know which color to paint the underpainting?
Yeah, there's no fast and set rule. There's an artist in Hawaii, and she just does red. Everything's red, and then off she goes. So, I mean, but I always look for the color underneath the color underneath the color. I look for the color that I can see, and, I guess that's subjective, but that's the color, and,
well, now, in this particular one, what did you see?
Well, what I saw was there was this beige undertones in this picture. See, it looked like that beige was behind there. And then this blue was on top of it. And even though I added some beige, you can kind of see where this beige kind of stayed that way, can't you?
I do.
So I want to come up here. Now, generally speaking, we're going to say that the vase is up here like this, okay? Here's this vase, like that. And this is how wide it is. And if I draw my rectangle like that, okay, here's my rectangle. Chalk is nice because you've got a little bit of a leeway. Here's And if you're having trouble with a straight line, particularly here, there you go. I mean, it's really that basic, okay? Here's my rectangle. Let's say I want my vase that big, but I want to come in at the bottom about like this, right? And it's going to start down here, maybe what, about an inch up here. So I'm going to curve the corners like this, and then just do a little bottom thingy like that, right? And then it's going to, it's going to come on up. I'm going to have it about this wide on each side, so it's going to come on up like this. I'm going to catch this circle, and then I want it right about here on the inside. I want it to go in. Do you see that? Just whatever you do on one side, just do it the same on the other, and then it's going to come back out here and catch the top of this. So there, friends, is the vase. Now, he's got a couple of oranges here. Do we have to do every one? I don't know that we do. He's got a lemon right here, and then he's got a half of something here, and he's got something up here, some sort of circular thing, and another yellow thing. Okay, whatever. Whatever these are, some sort of old fruits, right? So now I want to make sure I have that up enough, because he's got, then from up here, from on top of the vase, and I want to make sure this curves in, and I've got it going up high enough, up here like that probably. And the height of my little vase is about
19 centimeters.
Well, yes, 19 centimeters or 7.5
inches.
7.5 inches. Can you read that from over there? God, man, dude, you're awesome.
I'm telling you, I can
across
see
the room, he can see it. That's just so awesome, isn't it?
Miss Valentine would like me to tell you.
Yeah.
Let Ginger know that Saturday's video was very informative, very much appreciated. So if you didn't watch Saturday's video...
Oh, thank you. And we had fun, too. Didn't we have fun? We all have fun. I love our live shows because we have a lot of fun, and our audience is always so fun.
You're supposed to do a disclaimer. If you don't want us talking and carrying on, please change the channel now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that just find this annoying as heck. But here's the difference. If you're here to be entertained, you can always come back over here and watch it again for the actual art lesson. But you're here to ask questions. A very few professional artists are available if you can just pick their brain. And this is called Pick the Brain of the Artist during a live show. Got a question, ask it. Same when we bring Daniel on. All right, I want to come up. I'm going to say my tallest flower is up here. Like that. I'm going to put it way up here. Way up here. Can you see it? Way up here. Not quite to the top.
Okay, I got you.
Way up here, and it's about 3 fingers big, right? And he's going to have a stem that's coming down here like this.
Looks like
and the next one's staggered. I mean, this is like the letter U that goes to the point like this, right? This is really simple, right? And this one's coming down like this. And then we've got this little weird one that looks like a triangle that's coming like this.
That's not nice.
What?
Calling it weird. You can't help it. It's not nice to call him weird. He has feelings, you know.
Who does?
The flower.
Does it?
Doesn't it?
Are you sure?
It's alive.
Did
you ever do in class we did the scientific study where you're yelling and screaming and playing rock music to flowers versus nice...
Well, that would probably be true, John, if a real flower, but this is a painted flower. So you think the same holds true?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Aren't you catching the essence of life?
Uh-huh. All right. Good, John. Just hold that thought, baby. Keep programming the computers. We don't let him out much, folks. And this is why. Because he starts telling people that. I mean, Cinnamon used to laugh and say, back when I had to be, I was called for jury duty. I'm going to make that one a little bigger for just the sake of, I need it bigger, right? Going to come up about, let's come down about 5 fingers from here. And I want a big leaf coming out of here like this.
You're using, what kind of chalk pencil is that?
This is a Conte white charcoal pencil, but you could use any old kind of chalk. And then we got a leather leaf coming up here like that. And then we got some sort of nifty leaf as opposed to an unnifty leaf. Got one kind of sneaking up in here like that. And then we got one sneaking over here. And if your leaves are a little bit different, and then we got something kind of growing all by itself up here. I'm out of that one, so I've used that one up. Where's my next one? Here we go. There you go. There's got something right here, and then we've got a leaf that's coming over the edge that looks like it got eaten down into here, okay? And then one over the vase, and then we got one kind of wiggling over the vase like this. And then we got some sort of, ooh, this is interesting. We got something going off it this way. And then we got some more flowers here, which we'll put later. All right, that's basically the plan. You like it?
It kind of looks like a tulip that went off the edge there. That one skinny one.
Which one? This one?
No, the one that's off screen.
This one?
Yeah.
Doesn't
that look like a stem?
It's a stem, but I didn't. You know, this is a disclaimer. I didn't do this. This is him, right? Right now, this is him. We got some flowers here like that. Some little other kind of weird ones like this. Sorry, John, if you feel that they're being disparaged here.
That's all right.
All right, so now you got what we got here, right? I started to tell you guys before I got so sidetracked, and we certainly can always sidetrack us with some donations. That's perfect. But I wanted to tell you that it occurred to us, and actually these things hit me in the middle of the night, kind of these little brainstorms, right? So I'm going to take some white paint while I'm telling you this and come up here with some white paint for my flower because I want it to be very bright red.
We are just shy of 400 people watching this silly show.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Well, anyway, it occurred to me that while we do offer personal art coaching that comes with our lessons that either include any of the lessons we teach on YouTube and also on our website, we realize there's some people out there, they're not against the idea of personal art coaching. They just only paint their own thing. They like watching this stuff and they learn stuff, but when it comes to their stuff, they just want to paint their stuff. I get that, okay? Maybe it's an art show and you can't be painting other people's stuff and you still need help. So John and I decided we were going to start when our new store opens on our website, we're going to add 20 slots a month that have nothing to do with monthly membership, nothing to do with art lessons. It's only personal art coaching. And It's going to be individual stuff that you've done. It's going to be, because our members already get art coaching off their lessons, but this is your personal stuff that you've created that's either from a photograph you've done or from something else you've seen. It's your stuff and that you want some art coaching on. And the only caveat is, the only one that I always tell people this, and of course our members can do this once a month anyway, but for some people, they may want the opportunity to just have a second pair of eyes look at their stuff, and I get that, okay? So this is going to be a yellow, so we're going to paint that one. Yellow only paints happily over white, so this is why we're painting white. So John, we're going to have that, and if you guys think you'd like to qualify for that, if you'd like to be a part of that, it's something that you might like to do, which of course we're always happy to accommodate. It's something you think you might want to do. We're going to invite you to let us know that by emailing us at gingercooklive.gallery, and I think it's going to be you will get for $16.95 you'll get three
communications.
3 communications with me. You can send me your artwork 3 times. It can be 3 different paintings. It can be 1 painting you send in 3 times, or 2 paintings and one then send in twice one or once another. But you'll get some very interesting personal art coaching from me, some suggestions, and I think I'm going to throw in on that. I haven't told John this, but I'm going to...
Oh, blah, 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 blah.
No. I won't going to tell
I have no idea. Before you say, maybe we should discuss it.
Should we discuss it? Well, all right. We'll let you know next week if it was such a great... It was just... Right. All right. So...
Can you give me a small hint without saying anything?
No.
No, I didn't think
so.
All
right. So, never mind. Well, if it's... Anyway, you're going to get some awesome personal art coaching. And if you want to do that, just for your own stuff, So we thought we'd offer that.
Let me explain a little bit more what the personal art coaching is. If you are not a member, monthly or yearly member of the gingercooklive.gallery website, you can get 3 slots of personal art coaching for the price of $16.95. That means you can send in 3 different paintings. They can be anything except Cinnamon's paintings. She will not comment on Cinnamon's, we have to keep peace in the family, people. So anybody else's, your own stuff, doesn't matter. She will guide you with whatever you can give her. She'll advise you. And either 3 different paintings, 2 paintings, once, twice, whatever.
And if you're just making it up, that's okay, but you'll get the most out of it if you send me some reference photos.
If you have something,
if I have something that I'm trying, it's like going to the hairdresser and saying, "I really just want to look like Gina Lona Brigida did in that movie, with the where she was washing her hair, that one." And the hairdresser's going, "What? Yeah, and I want it to look like that." I mean, how many times have you even gone in with a photograph to a hairdresser and come out going, "Huh, we're just like seeing the same thing, or maybe you just don't like, your hair doesn't look like that or whatever. But at least she has something to go by, or he has something to go by. This is the thing. It helps if we know where you're thinking about. So if anybody thinks that's a good idea, we're going to limit the spots that will be available, and we're going to try it. We're going to try it a month and see if we like it. And if it still works, we'll continue it. We'll see if everybody's happy with it. We're going to try it.
We're going to give it a shot, but it's not quite available yet. We're going to have to set up forms and things for it. We're still working on that part of it.
All right, now I'm going to take some yellow, and I'm going to take some phthalo blue, and I'm going to make a very, very deep, dark green. Do you see that? And I'm going to take a tiny bit of cad red with it. And I've got this large angle brush, and we're going to come up here onto where our vase is, and we're going to put this deep green. This is, if you had phthalo green, you could use that too, and add maybe a little more blue to it. One thing about this, you see how acrylics dry darker, but absorbent ground, I think, changes that, which is interesting. It changes that. All right, so we're going to come out here. Remember, we drew in the vase, and we want to come down here like this and do this sort of, it's got this vase with this kind of weird glaze. And isn't it cool with all the texture in the vase? Don't you love the texture that shows up in this vase, because we we have this certain ground on it, certain ground on the picture. So anyway, that's just my thought on that.
If you're currently a member of the Ginger Cook,
you already got art coaching.
You've already got art coaching. If you want to do a unique piece, you can only do one a month. If you want to do more than one unique piece a month, then you would have to do this add-on.
You could add this on. And the thing of it is that we understand, like, for instance, some people are getting ready for show, or they just want their own stuff. You know what I mean? They just want their own stuff, and they just that's fine. I get it. I get it. Now, what we want to do here on this side, we're going to come down, and I'm using this angle brush. Do you see this? This is a what is this? 3/8 inch angle brush.
That looks bigger than 3/8.
What does it say? 5/8. I lied. Well, okay. So it's a bigger one, but look at the edge I can get. Can you see this edge I'm getting on here like that?
Oh, it's like a knife. A knife cutting through butter.
I have never found, and they're going to come under here like this. I have never found. I mean, I know there's a lot of little pointy brushes out there, little round ones, but nothing to me beats this ruby satin silver. And let me move the water over here. I need the water over here with some little napkin or something. Here, I need a little water in here, because you need a little water on your brush each time to make this work, and then you want to rinse it off. Just going to touch it like that. There we go.
Those of you that are looking for the October newsletter, you'll be happy to know it's going to be combined with November's newsletter.
Yes.
Hopefully this week.
Yeah, we're going to get that off too.
We apologize, we got backed up.
We got backed up. All right, so that's drying, right? So what do we know for sure? Well, that's drying. Well, we know for sure that the same color is used on the stem.
Oh, wait.
What? Can you go back up here for me?
Yeah, see, I'm at the bottom. So you're going to go to the top for a while? I'll move. You just tell me if you're going to go up.
Yeah, we're going up here for a while, right? Because I'm waiting for that white to dry. So we know that this is coming like this and coming down on this stem. See? Harder you push, the fatter the line, right? And then each stem's got to have its own, this should curve a little more than what I did. There you go, like that. And then each time you do it, what happened?
Over 400 viewers.
No way. Honestly, that's fantastic.
See,
Thank you very much, you guys.
I'm in charge of the bell now.
I guess so. What a mistake this was. Okay, thanks,
I think
John.
it's a good idea.
All right, so here we are. New thing. Now I'm pushing harder. Now I'm going to push harder. See, I'm pushing harder, and I'm going to widen this leaf.
You're kind of shaking it a little bit to give it a wave?
Yeah, kind of shaking it, kind of moving it around, and giving it a little wave, because I'm kind of seeing what he did, and then bringing it down into here like that. Okay. All right, there you go. So
now, are you using more of a wet brush on this? To get
yeah, it's more like heavy cream. You know, the brush is damping, because what's happened is that the canvas, because we have this ground on it, is absorbing the paint too. But it is smooth. You guys, aren't you impressed with how smooth this is going? Like this. There you go.
Question. What size canvas? 10 by 20.
10 by 20. We originally said it was something else, but thanks to our good friend Judith Guitar, who apparently can, even from a distance, like Superman.
And you didn't even show the whole thing. She goes, "That's not what that is."
I just love that, don't you? So here, we're going to say there's another leaf coming up here like this.
Can this be done on any size canvas? Yes.
Yes, any size canvas. In fact, I was going to show you.
Change it accordingly.
What did I do with all that stuff? Oh, here. What did I do with it? Somewhere here. What did I do? Oh, yeah. While I was doing that, I was going to show you here. Whoops. We're going to give something away, so we're painting that. Here. See?
What? Wait, where are you now?
Well, does it matter? Here, up here. I'm right up here. So I'm going to just show you. This is, we're going to do another little one here. Now, this is regular canvas. I want you to see the difference, all right? So here's regular canvas, and I'm just going to come up here like that. And I still have to, for each stem, get the, I still have to wet the brush and then kind of dampen it off here like that. But I'm just going to come up here like this with each stem. I'm just going to show you how that's working. This was just a canvas that, John, pre-treated. Here we go. We're going to do this. I'm going to just show you. Even with this large brush, you can do this. This is these ruby satin silver angle brushes. They are my favorite. I mean, for the most versatile. I mean, the brush that it's my go-to brush. It's like, don't you have like a lot of different shoes in your closet, but then there's one pair you wear all the time? You have that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has that, and then but you look at but you might wear them, right? And so, I mean, I've got hundreds of brushes. I'm a brush hoarder. I've got hundreds of brushes, but I still kind of grab the same ones all the time.
Do we have a video already on how to apply the absorbent ground? Do we ever?
Yes, we have a video on how to apply absorbent ground.
Is it on YouTube somewhere?
Yes, it's on YouTube.
Wendy Kimson?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Tanya? It's out
and
there
I think
somewhere.
what was the one we were doing when we did that? Do you remember? It was another long skinny canvas. Oh, it wasn't the peacocks, but it was another flower one.
Nope.
I can barely remember what we painted yesterday. I mean, honestly.
Oh yeah, that came up this morning. What did we paint yesterday?
What did we paint? I don't know. What did we paint this weekend? I don't. You remember? I'm 5 more paintings in. I don't remember what any of this was. Right. So I was coming back into the vase, and then I know I've got a big one coming here.
Wendy said it was a tulip.
It was the tulip. That's right, Wendy. It was the tulip. See, how right you are.
That's why we have all you people as our backup memories.
Yeah, there you go. So here we're going to come down here like that. Now see, it didn't get it quite wet enough, but now look how this brush can fill that in. Kind of cool, right? I mean, this is not a tricky... painting. Okay, leave a little blue in between the two leaves here, like that. Leave a little tiny bit of the background right in there like that. These can touch, but you want to leave a little space right there. And let's see, we said this one was running off this way and this way. And that did something. And then this for sure did something. I'm kind of watching it. I'm looking at this on my iPad. And then... this was bluer here. I'm going to make this darker. These were very dark here, back down toward the bottom here. I'm going to almost put a little blue and purple in that green. These were very dark down toward the base. These leaves, really dark. And we've got another leaf coming out this way. A little bit of water, so it's going to flow a little bit. And then I'm going to come up here just using the point of the angle like this and pull it down like that. There you go. Okay, so these are, again, everything got real dark down toward the bottom of the vase, and then we have another one coming off here like this. And the minute you find that your paint isn't doing anything, go get some more. If you're making a brush stroke and nothing's happening, get a little more paint. All right, so there's that one. All right, these are kind of cute, right? So far, so good, yeah?
Looking primo. Let me back it out so we can see what we're working with.
So, yeah, it's not too bad. And I've got another one coming over the top of this, but we got to get a little yellow and yellow oxide now while this is still wet. And come on up here like this, maybe just some yellow oxide. And come up here like this while it's still wet and blend in a little highlight right there on that one. See how that blended in? Isn't that pretty? And then let's see, how about this one right here too, down the center of this. And I think we're out of phthalo, and I want a little bit more of that, and I'll show you. We'll put a little white with this. This is pretty. So a little bit of white, here we go. because it's almost a blue-green color like there in the center of this leaf. And then what happens is now I've got to reach forward here and really blow this up because I have no idea what I'm looking at anymore. All right, so I need something light. White. Where did that go? Yellow, white. Okay, my white's all used up, and we can add some highlights on this vase while we're here in the colors. We're going to say there's a little bit of white here, like this.
We have a visitor watching from India. It's not even 7 a.m. here in India, and my husband is curious how I'm already watching videos on my phone. I told him it's Ginger Cook, and he gave a knowing nod. That's great.
That's fun, right? All right, so here's this little highlight here, then under here. Now we've got this very bright light green highlight on the vase right here like this. I want you to see where this is. Now to blend that in, just take some water, because the absorbent ground is still working for us. Water, and you can just smudge that out. Do you see how that's smudging out? And you really, this absorbent ground allows you this kind of freedom, okay? And I would say that that's exactly what that is. It's freedom to get those sort of out of focus colors that's kind of tricky otherwise, because we're implying the rest of this on the vase. So we've got this little flower that's coming up here. Just put this as fun. Here's some yellow, okay? And a little phthalo blue and a little white. Okay, so we've got this sort of light green color, right? Now we're going to come up here like this and then push this down like this. And then we're going to come down like that and say that there's this, let's see, a little more blue. There's this other little leaf that's coming down here like this.
We have a hello from Perth, Australia.
From Perth, Australia. Isn't that amazing?
I don't know, we have anybody in the UK. Well, yeah, we have a couple of UKers today.
Yeah, but it's like the middle of the night for people, So here we go. I'm going to come off the edge of this one now.
Everybody should be on the same time zone.
Well, we were just saying we're going to be going off of daylight savings time soon. And,
no, that'll mess us up.
That's
going to mess
up.
Is absorbent brown a golden product? Yes, it is.
Yeah, absorbent brown's a golden product, but you could just use modeling paste too and it would work. Okay, and the thing is that you have to dry it overnight. In fact, if you were just feeling ambitious, you'd just take a bunch of canvases and do this to it. And if you're using that cheap canvas board, because one of the least expensive things you can paint on is canvas board, but if you put absorbent ground on it, or if you put this gold, the modeling paste, you'll find that.
Yeah, we got Norway and UK with us tonight.
Wow, that's cool. Hi, Norway and UK. Okay, so you can see where we just did these highlights in the vase, and now I'm going to change brushes. Leave this one just here for now. You just stay there. Okay, I'm going to grab another brush. This is this one of Cinnamon's. This is an angle brush. It's a 1/2-inch angle brush, and it's one of her silver. It's a new one. They've never made a long one before by the silver company, and it's very stiff. And this is dry enough where I want to come in here with a little yellow, oxide little yellow, and a little cad red medium, and I'm going to make this sort of orange kind of gold color. Might put a little white with it, like that. And I want to come in here like this and say that this is my bottom part of the vase, like that. I'm just going to come around here like that. This is our bottom part of the vase. Now, it looks to me like the light's kind of coming from this direction. It's hitting this part of the vase right here. So this section over here is a little darker, so we'll have a little bit of burnt umber over here. And so this section of our vase has got to be darker. All right, like that. And you can really scrub with this brush and not hurt it. It's very stiff, and I thought that would be great for this. Get a little more of the burnt umber here. And let's see, where did that go anyway? There it is.
Yeah, we put that absorbent ground on, we put a tint to it, added some paint.
Yeah, we just added a little tiny bit of, I think it was buff titanium or something to make it a little darker. That's what we put on there to kind of make that work.
One so you can see it. because it's very hard to see.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell where you've been with it, right?
Yeah.
But all right, so here's our bottom of the vase here, like this. I'm going to come out like that and say, here's the bottom, the vase. All right, like this, and let's get a little white going here. So it's a little bit of white up here. I love how this just takes the color. It's really nice. It's almost like letting your acrylics paint with like you have pastels or something. Okay, let me lighten this up here again, and I want to lighten this up here like that. Okay, as long as we're playing, and I wanted some. As long as I've got this nice edge on this brush here like this, I want a little bit of a white edge on this leaf right here, and I can just pinch the brush, wet it, wipe off the paint, and I can fuzz that in. I think one of the hardest things for people is to blend the acrylics or to kind of diffuse the edges, and that really does it. Is that interesting? Now we've got, we're going to come back over here with a little purple and blue and yellow and make a really dark green. This was the darkest section right here, under here of this vase, right here. It was darker. And then over here it was pretty dark, so we're going to darken that up. And then under here, we're going to say it's darker. And under here, all right, so we're kind of darkening up some places. And then on this side of our table, we've got, we're saying that it's darker here too. So what he did was that he allowed you to see his fruit and stuff by, adding some shadows to it. So, all right, we're going to say that this is all dark under here like that. And I don't know how much of that we'll put in, but we'll give it a good go, okay? And then on this side, as long as we're doing it, on this side of our vase right here, we've got we've got a shadow going off kind of this way. Do you see that? And then it goes almost into the greens as we get this way. It starts to go into green. Okay, now I want this to be a little bit diffused. All right, I want that shadow to be really diffused, but first I've got to have it darker. It starts with being dark under here, comes around here like this, and kind of goes up that way. So then it's just seeing which way the shapes go. So that's good, right? So, all right, so now I've got that. Now if I here's a soft, clean brush, okay? I've got it wet, and I'm just going to diffuse this edge. What I mean by that is just sort of soften it. One of the things that people may not remember about shadows is that the edges are always a little bit lighter. So we're diffusing that. And then he had some very bright blue over here. I mean, really bright blue right next to his shadow. He put that right next to the vase. So we're going to do that with a little bit more white in it. Okay. I'm just playing with what he did, but that's... So look what that did, how that popped that out. Isn't that interesting? How that just absolutely popped that out right there by doing that. And then there was a little bit of this green color over here, which was this color. Okay. Okay. So, all right, so we've got something like that. That's looking good. What else? I'm using, this is I'm going to just add another highlight here. Now just sort of dry brushing that on. That's looking nice. See, because it's still absorbing in. Isn't that cool? Still absorbing in. Okay. Back to the angle brush. Somebody said, where do you get these brushes? There's a lot of places that silver brushes are carried all over the world. What's the name of that company in England now that's carrying Cinnamon's brushes?
Jackson, I believe.
Jackson in England is carrying them, but the brush guys in the United States, a lot of people I know have ordered from them. They only sell brushes. They ship globally. Okay, they ship globally, and okay. So we're going to make that one there, and this one's a little redder. Here's our other one, our other little piece of fruit here. This does draw nice, John. This is really nice. Okay, so as long as I'm doing that, I'm going to start painting in some flowers up on this one. Okay. Just figured don't want to neglect my other little picture here that I'm doodling with, okay? So, all right, so here we go like that. See how you can make it flat and then you turn it, you can spin it. You get a really nice edge. And you know you want it a little bit darker on this side like that. Okay, now we're going to take
Does the absorbent ground change the drying time, Zoe would like to know?
It seems to, yes.
It
seems to expand it. It makes it seem to last a little longer. Since you asked,
I know when we applied it, I applied one on absorbent ground on another canvas. It took a day and a half to dry. It just still felt very cool.
All right, we're saying that's something here like that. There's another one like here, another little thing, and then here's another little it's kind of a half dead piece of fruit, right like that. Okay. Up here, and I think there was one over here. I'm just not doing them all. There was another one over there, but you know, we don't have time. So, all right. So, you can always get his piece. Now, this is dry enough. The white's dry enough. I'm going to take some orange here, and I think I see some magenta. Now that I'm looking in that, I see magenta. I do. I see some magenta in this one. Interesting. So magenta is one of those colors that makes a really good orange. I wonder if you even had magenta. I don't think you probably even had it, quite frankly. It's kind of a new color. But all right, I'm going to put a little bit of magenta down here in the base part of this flower right here. I'm going to add a little yellow to it. And that's our other bright red orange flower. Because it's going over white, it's nice and bright. Okay, so I'm going to say there's that one. I'm going to move back up, John.
Okay, one second there.
We're going to move back up.
You can stay up there for a little bit?
Stay up there for a little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, you got me? All right.
I'm about halfway down the vase.
All right, so now we're going to say, here's our...
Okay, while you're doing that, I want to show everybody, I'm now going to control the dice, too. I have a little die. Here's my phone, and it's got a die on it. So I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to stump the artist. Ginger, what's stump the artist mean?
Well, we have a trivia game.
And there it is, number 6.
Where it's an art trivia game, and it's played with dice. Well, one die. And anyway, it's let's get a little yellow in that. Here's our light tulip up here, because this side's lighter, see? It's coming around here like that. Same with this one. Now we're back to cad red medium, a little magenta, maybe a little tiny bit of white. And here's our tulips. This is a good brush because you get that little kind of V shape with the tulips. So what number did you get, John?
We got a 6, which is a mystery question. These are art questions. It's an art trivia game we got from Amazon. Oh, that's a silly one. I got a gimme if you guys want a gimme.
All right. Well, you got a better one? You could pick another one, you know. It's a big box. Okay, we've got a little something coming over like that.
Well, we're going to try this one. Oh, yeah, that's kind of cute.
All right. Okay, so far so good?
Yep. All right, question is, among these 3 types of dogs, find a painter's name. Westie, Saint Bernard, or Braque, B-R-A-Q-U-E. Is that Braque? B-R-A-Q-U-E.
That's a kind of dog?
Apparently.
Wow.
A Westie, a Saint Bernard, and a Braque. Among these 3 types of dog, find a painter's name.
All right.
Can we get a close-up of how Ginger loads her brush? Nope. I don't have a zoom on that camera. Sorry.
All right, so we're coming in here like this with a little bit of orange and yellow, and these are these little flowers here. They're just kind of...
How are you loading your brush?
I'm just scooping it up on one side like that. Got a little glob of paint to tap off most of it, and then I'm coming back over here, you know, making these little petals like this. There's this little cluster of little, whatever these are, okay? Whatever these little flowers are, there's these right here, and they've got these different colors in them. There's like a little bit of orange and yellow, see like that?
Melrose says Braque. Tanya says Braque. St. Bernard from Norman. Gail, Braque. Is it Braque?
Barack?
Saint Bernard. Brock, maybe Brock.
Well, spell it again.
B-A-R-A-Q-U-E.
That's Brock.
Brock-Q?
Well,
Barbecue.
Q-U-E is Q.
It's Q.
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you're saying it, right? Here we go. This comes down here like this. These are kind of a combination of pink and red.
Brack. Barbara says Brack. Finally, Goldie says Brack. Lori says no clue. Lori, you have a 50-50 shot. Vicky says Westy. Marine says Brack.
Okay.
Barquet. Oh, Gail thinks it's Barquet. But it's B-R-A.
It sounds like a barking dog. Barquet. I don't know. Barquet, right? All right, back here with the fruit. I'm back up here with the fruit. Are you keeping track?
No, we're doing the question. We're stumping the artist. What's your guess?
And it's supposed to be the artist's name?
That's what it says.
Saint Germain. There was an artist.
Among these three types of dog, find a painter's name.
I don't know. Saint Germain.
Westy, Saint Bernard, or Brack.
Saint Bernard. Bonnard. It's Saint Bernard. It's Saint Bernard because Bonnard was an artist, an impressionist. Bonnard.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was?
It's apparently not according to Amazon.
Well, I mean, we can't educate everybody, but
no,
okay.
Brack
Yeah.
or
What was his name?
It's French. So how do you say it? Barbecue? Come on. I struggle with English. Don't give me this stuff. Well, if you guess George Braque, you give yourself 1,000 points.
But I'm telling you, there was a guy named Bernard.
Well, I'm sorry. It
Not
wasn't
Bernard,
Saint Bernard.
Well, no, but it was Bernard, right?
Well, then he's not. What did I just say?
Well, I don't care. It was not Saint Bernard, but it was Bernard. I think that's pretty close, man. Get some points for that. Don't you love that brush?
You say it like Braque. That's French. Braque.
Okay.
Okay, so the answer is Braque. And give yourself 1,000 points if you're correct.
Okay.
Well on your way to 10 million for the big prize at the end of the year. Yet to be announced. John, spell it. B-R-A-Q-U-E. I think Gail has it there.
Yeah.
Gail helps me with my English. She's good at that.
Well, that's good. Somebody needs to.
Emily Bernard was an artist in 1942. Bernard.
Yeah.
See, that's Bernard versus Saint Bernard.
What do you mean versus? That's you're Bernard or you're not a Bernard, right?
Here, where's my sign? Here. That's what I need to put up. Here you go.
You're a Bernard or you're not a Bernard. I love his fruit that looks half dead by the time he got around to painting it. Nobody would want to eat it, but that's okay. I love it. Don't you love it? There you go. Here's this dark little fruit here like this, and it's all dark on this side. Wow. How unappetizing is that?
And she's French. Lynn says it's Braque. And she's Canadian French. So
well, then she would know. She would know. Right? They're supposed to know that stuff, right?
More so than we do.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so these flowers, I love how he just outlines everything. I guess there was another, we got another little yellow one here, like that. And we're going to do a little shadow by him. A little bit darker, a little bit of purple-green shadow here next to these guys. Under here like that. And I'm just going to make this green. We'll pretend like this is a shadow from something else that's off camera. I like that. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, there you go. It works for me. Does it work for you? There you go.
That's a nice looking vase.
Yeah, the vase came out really well, didn't it? I think the vase is kind of fun.
You really got good blending in there and all.
Well, you get this good. This is what this absorbent ground does. It allows you to have fantastic control over the blending. All right. I mean, it's very nice. I mean, you really do get that.
Now, basically, the light source on this one, sometimes with a light source, it looks like it's 45 degrees off the center.
It's like this coming here, about like this, right?
Go where the highlight is, and then you have the shadow that's being cast in the back.
Yeah, and then this is calling the shadow back this way. And then every once in a while, there's like this little leaf is in front of this one.
A little highlight here and there.
That's coming up in front of this one, like that. But you see how it just you can see how beautifully that this paint's in here. And then of course he has a little bit of, there's a little bit of reflected light. I'm just sort of dry brushing on a little kind of bright green here, just kind of a little reflected light here on the vase. And
so what she just did with her brush there was she put paint on and then she wipes it off.
Yeah, that's really key here. You'll see me do an awful lot of that, where I put the paint on and wipe it off for sure. And there's the rule you got to remember is wherever there's a light, there's a dark. That's the key. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. Where did my stuff go? Let's see, I brought it over here. Where did I bring it?
What are you looking for?
I was looking for where did that other stuff go? I don't know. Oh, here, maybe, no? Yes, yeah. I wanted to show you this one, too. This is a new release for our members
in November.
In November. Do you guys like this?
That's all we can say is November.
This is in November sometime for our Ginger Cook Live gallery members. That's an incentive to remember why you love your membership. I just leave that. Isn't that pretty? That says European Village. I'm going to show you how to do all that and, get it all down there. All right, so this is dark here, this is dark here, this is dark back here, and then we had some green coming off here like that. All right, it's kind of coming along here. Now, it's interesting to me when I look at him, he came in here like this, and he's got this, see these little flowers? Now he kind of went, I'm using just the corner of the brush here, now he went and kind of got this dark green color. And he kind of made some shadows on them, and like that, not just weird like this. I keep using the weird, and what I mean weird is unexpected. You like that? It's unexpected. Like I always, when I look what another artist does, I'm always a little curious about why they might have done it. Kind of make that leaf a little bigger.
Here's a question that we had earlier. It was commented that typically arrangements are done in odd numbers. And they go, well, this has 4 tulips. Well, you have the 5th flower. So there are 5 flowers, so it's still odd. Don't get hung up just because it's a tulips. It's not just a tulips, it's a flower. So there are really 5 things here to keep your eye moving around.
That's a good point, John, there, because you're right. There are 5 tulips here. All right, there's another little orange flower here. Coming down like this. All right.
Oh, Tanya would like to know the graffiti painting that you showed.
Uh-huh.
When's that going to be released?
Tanya, nobody liked it, so I didn't do a tutorial on that.
There was a bunch of people that wanted it in our membership.
Well, we don't. I need to hear from you guys because nobody seemed to like it. I'm going to put a little outline. He's got a little bit of an outline here, and we're coming up on these tulips. Can you see me where I'm coming up like this? Coming up and. What, the graffiti? Oh, you're finding the graffiti painting? All right, well, we'll get some votes on it. I didn't get some real good feedback on it. So I just...
Well, mainly our members that wanted it. They thought you did. They just want it big.
They just want it big?
Yep.
Well, it would be pretty big. All right, here's the painting that John's talking about.
I got to see if you're in the camera. I don't know where I am.
I give up. Where are you? Well, I'm up by my tulips, right?
Slow it down, pull it down just a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, there's our graffiti painting, and I asked anybody if they thought this would make a cool lesson. I found this as a photograph, and I thought it was kind of neat. And the guy had this little weird mask on and everything, and he was kind of scribbling on the wall. I don't know, it's such kind of an art thing, you gotta kind of like that stuff. And
okay, so now, once this is done and it's up, put a comment on the YouTube if you want to see that graffiti lesson done and how big you want it.
Yeah, now that would be a good thing to do, right? Now I want to just do this because I want you to see the difference between painting on canvas, right, and painting on that absorbent ground, because it is a different experience. You see what I mean? To get the blending, it's not that you can't. All right.
You're going to end up using more paint and wetter.
Yeah, it's just a different experience. This is really much like doing paper, and I'm going to come back down here. Of course, I'm changing this. I'm going to do it light blue on the bottom because we've got a dark background here. So I'm going to play with this picture a bit like that, and I'm going to just show you the difference between painting on canvas and this other. Now let's see. Let's just come up here like this. See, with this background, I want some lighter greens, right? Everybody's kind of with me on that, right? Because I've got to, this is the deal, wherever there's a dark, there's a light. So if you've got a dark background, you know, you've got to be able to have stuff show up, okay? And, you know, that's the trick. And does it show up here? And that kind of thing. So I'm going to paint this a dark background too. This is just...
Oh, that painting you just showed that we're doing for our members, the little church?
Yes?
When he says the painting you just showed is from the same Norwegian artist from last year that we used. Apparently we like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all fun things to do. All right, so now when you see something like that, so here's this little picture, right? This is the one we're going to give away tonight. I'm going to give this away. All right, so what I'm going to say there's a light, so I'm going to say the light's doing the same thing. So I'm going to need some sort of background back here. So I'm going to use brown now to come back here with a shadow. And then I would do probably a little orange back over here. Let me just get that color back this way. And you'll just, what I'm seeing here, what I would tell you is that, you know, it's not as clean. I'm telling you what, there's something really nice about absorbent ground. Okay? And I'm going to just kind of make this, let me put a piece of paper underneath here.
I was just wondering how far you're going to go with that.
I'm going to put a piece under here so I can, you know, I'm just going to kind of fool around with this a little bit. And there we go, like that. But I want this darker shadow back here, just, you know.
I saw it go by. You know, the other night we were talking about the different patterns as far as when you're a triangle, you know, the layout.
Yeah, scissor, you know, yeah, yes, absolutely.
What did Paul use on this particular one, you thinking?
This is a triangle.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, it's a portrait, so it's really different. It's a portrait, so you know, you've got to figure that, right? It's a portrait, so let's make these a little brighter because they're against a dark background. So perhaps these would be, see, a little bit different than we might have done the other. Does that make sense? And I'm with you. I say we put another one here because I'm with you guys, right? There's another one there, and maybe we got another one that fell down here like that. It's fallen over. That's usually what happens to my flowers. They fall over like that. But remember, everything's about contrast. So when you're asking about what kind of background you need to use, if you're doing a dark background, then the other stuff's got to be lighter, right? And if you're doing a, there we go. All right. And maybe I want, let's get some really light color here. Maybe I want a leaf that came down over the pot like that. Something like that. Okay, so we're saying that that's, but again, you can see the difference between, say this, you know, which is the blue background and the red flowers, or you do a dark brown background and you do some other colored flower, all right? And that's kind of, that's really, you've got to think about that, because if you were to take a black and white photograph of something, right, if you were to do that, and let's see, let's put some more yellow out. If you do that, what would happen to your picture would it just all disappear as one big gray mess, okay? So one of the things I tell people is, it's amazing how many people don't do it. I think I couldn't say it clear. You could do this on the phone. How do they do it on their phone, John? How would you do that on your phone? I want to take a black and white photograph of my picture using my phone. How would I do that?
Well, most of the apps on the phone, you just click your picture and there's a way to either change the color. If it doesn't have a black and white option, just go into your setting, into the, like you want to develop it or work with or edit it. You go into the editing mode and just remove all the color, you know, make it into a black and white. And you can see right away if you got a good contrast or if it's a flat painting or what you've got going on. I think that's a tutorial Sammy needs to work on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's something, people, and everybody's, we say these things and we think people are computer savvy, but John was just showing me the other day something on the iPad, how you got rid of, programs, all these programs that were open. You know how they just, they just keep going on and on. All right, so I kind of darkened that a little bit. And we got to put a little dark green on this one here. So whatever happened here, just going to dry brush on a little dark green on this little, whatever this thing is right there. Some little yellow thing. I personally think that takes your eye right off the canvas. I don't know why he did it. I'm just throwing it in here because he did it. And as long as can we be true to ourselves, right, John?
Absolutely.
We're just going to just be true to ourselves. We'll just be the last of the big spenders and actually put some paint out, which is annoying when it doesn't come out of the tube. Now he's got another one right here like that. He's got some other little piece of fruit right there. And then he's got another little orange thing right here, just practically touching here. So he's got all this little fruit lined up on the table. Actually, that kind of does look better, doesn't it, when you add the others? Kind of needed the others, I think. Needed the others now. Let's see.
And again, you're working with an odd number. You have 7 pieces of fruit.
Yeah, now I'm going to do a little bit of dark down here with the magenta on this side. There, and make this a little bit, this is where my magenta goes. And look at how it's absorbed. I have to say, I love this absorbent ground. I love how it absorbs the, and even though the canvas is red, it absorbs the paint, and it's very smooth. It has the feeling, it's almost like working with pastel. And here's a little bit of water on my brush, right? And I'm just cleaning my brush. Now look here, just cleaning my brush on here, and see how it's depositing a little bit of this orange color right here like that. You barely see it. I mean, that's pretty cool, don't you think? And let's see, let's get a little bit of this yellow oxide and white. This little edge right here is light, right here. And then we said this little edge right here was light, okay? And what else? Do we need to lighten up any of our other stuff as we're talking? All right, so I'm gonna lighten, oh gosh.
Got enough paint on there, ma'am?
No. Got too much, but that's okay. It's I wanted these flowers to stand out a little more. These ones right here were not standing out quite the way I wanted them.
Back out and see what we're looking at here.
Yeah, let's just back it out here. Here we go. These needed to stand out a little more than I had them. Okay, so
now
that's
you guys
good.
got a sense of what she's created.
I'll hang this one off the edge here. There we go. I needed to break that shape up right there. Okay. And the nice thing about it is that what you can do, if you say you've got something like this, bear with me. Let me just dry this section real quick, and I'll show you something. All right?
Oh, wait. Okay, and go. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. I just see we saw somebody from Puerto Rico. I hope you guys are doing well down there after that last storm that came through. We in Houston, we're getting back to normal. It was a rough year this year with the hurricanes with everybody. It looks like one's heading up towards the UK. I guess it's going to be a tropical depression by the time it gets up there. Ooh, I changed your voice. Hope that's good.
Am I back?
Go ahead and talk for a second.
Okay, so what I decided is one of the things you can do with acrylics, which you can't really do with watercolor, you can do it with oil, but it's darn hard, right? Is you can, for instance, I don't like this flower right here, so I'm going to take some blue, and I'm just going to come and take a bite out of it. Do you see what I just did? I broke that shape up, and I want a little bit of blue right here. Do you see that? Right in there, I want a little bit of blue. See, from the sky, and then right here, I'm going to come down here on this one, a little more white. And as long as this is dry, you can do it. Here's a little bit of blue. Right in here like that. I'm going to come down and reshape that one. So remember, you can, for instance, if you've lost a color, right, in your exuberance, how's that? You can come back and you can get it. Or if you need to put a light area next to something or a dark area, you're not stuck with anything. All right, you can come back and you can add colors, which I think that's good to know. Sometimes I think people think that, oh, I did this and I've ruined it, and you haven't ruined anything. You really haven't ruined anything. But I can see we need this side of the vase a little darker, so we're going to darken up this side of the vase. Put a little bit of Let's get a little darker green. I think we're going to go with darker green here. In this side of the vase here, I'm just going to brush that on. Like that. And let's see what happened to my... Here we go. Go. Whoops. Oh, okay, we just lost my iPad again. Let me just...
Did you have the screen turned off?
It's on never, but you know, what does that mean to the screen? Nothing. Do you know that? You can put it on for never? Okay, so I mean, this is faster for me.
And it doesn't know what never is?
This is never, 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 never. Then maybe it'll say, I wasn't touching it. You saw that. I didn't touch a thing. Wow, I think I have 100,000 pictures on here. People say, where do you find all your pictures? Well, every time I find a picture, I save it. I save it in something called a folder called Ginger's Favorites. Ginger has hundreds of favorites, obviously.
And Ginger ought to probably start filtering those, putting
I haven't figured out how to delete any, John. If you ever know, please let me know. Okay, stay there. I don't know how to delete them. I would delete some, but I have no clue how to do that. It's just beyond my, thing. Who knows? How do you delete these things? It would be nice to know.
Oh, that was Panama. RP was not Puerto Rico. It was Republic of Panama. So we have Panama, so we're going that way. But I think we had an entire world on today, around the whole globe.
Wow, that is so cool. I have been to Panama. I saw a sloth there in a tree. I was very impressed. Wow, who gets to see that?
Are you going to stay at the top for a while?
I'm up at the top. I'm going to just outline. He had this flower outlined, you guys, and he's got a little bit of a outline on the leaf. Now this is that little angle brush that Cinnamon has. That's the special for acrylics. It's a special acrylic long-handled angle brush, the first one ever. And we're going to come under here like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of magenta and make a dark magenta and come under here and just do a little bit of a... He's got a little bit of a seam and a shadow on this side of the flower like that. See? I mean, these are all kind of... Then over here, I'm over here like this. A little bit of a color right here. He kind of went around this one. Not sure why. This was something... Him and Van Gogh were big outliners. This is really impressionistic painting for sure, because these guys were big outliners. And even this side of the leaf... Now, see, I'll tap it off. Even this side of the leaf was outlined like that.
Yes, the absorbent ground is a product you can buy. It's made by Golden.
Yeah, you can buy it, absolutely. You can buy it. Here's a little leaf that needs to come up like this, like that. Another little leaf here. We're starting to get more of the outcome here. A little bit of a leaf right there. Okay. I do like it very much. I have to say that I really am admiring that very much. I'm going to widen this leaf right here. Next to here, like that. You can, like that. See there? It's kind of, I think this needed to be a tall canvas. Don't you guys think so?
I think so.
I think this needed to be tall. Now, one of the things he did was that he has, now it does dry lighter. Acrylics dry darker, but on absorbent ground. Look at this area up here. It does dry lighter. So we're going to darken up this background up here around this flower. See? Can you see from the picture that this has to be darker?
I can.
One of the reasons you darken your corners is that it causes the eye to go back into the rest of the painting.
It bounces your eye back in.
Brings your eye back in. So we're darkening this corner up here, and he has even a little bit over here. Now, so that this would be tough to do on regular canvas, but you see I can add a little water to that absorbent ground, and let's see, a little bit of magenta and ultramarine blue is I think what I'm using in here. Darken this up here a little bit. Okay, like that. Get that a little darker, and it's kind of darker down this way. And again, I would say do a canvas, just a little tiny scratch canvas with absorbent ground, and play with it. Don't see what it does. See what if you put paint on there, does it dry darker? Does it dry lighter? How are you? How's that working for you? You see, it's still. Do you see how with water it's still kind of softening out, like that? I mean, I think that was very, very interesting, and I think he came clear over to the top. I don't want it that blue, so I'll just rinse my brush, and just erase that with a little magenta here. I want it a little bit darker this way. Okay.
Maureen would like to know, could you use stucco instead of modeling paste?
No, because stucco's too rough. Stucco's very, very rough. It's sandy.
Yeah, it
Stucco's not meant for that. You can't use stucco. Modeling paste, you could use a modeling paste, absorbent ground, but they're all these mediums are designed for different things. All right, that's what I would tell you. They're all designed differently, and I think we even could come up with the phthalo blue up here.
Sue would like to know, what is the difference between absorbent ground and gesso?
Gesso is just a good question, Sue. Gesso is just a let's see, I need a little brown in that or something. Gesso is just a white acrylic paint with some other things in there, and it keeps the canvas from you know, if you paint it on your you ever spill coffee on your clothes and it goes right through, right to your skin? Well, canvas is just fabric, so the gesso is all it is some white paint with some maybe ground marble dust or some acrylic fillers, and it just keeps the canvas from. It's not absorbent at all. Gesso is not absorbent at all. It's made to be a film between you and the canvas, where absorbent ground is made to make your canvas act more like paper. See how I'm just sort of softening this out now? Because I want a little bit darker up here. And then he had a little bit darker green up there too. Look at that. You can go back and play with your sky, you know, your background. I thought that was pretty interesting. You can come back here and play with the background and start bringing in a little more contrast around your flowers if you didn't get as much as you thought you were going to the first time out. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying repaint your whole background, but look how nicely that's painted in there, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, I think it came out fairly well, and I'm going to take a little bit of white now, and I want to see if I can't lighten up this. I want this even lighter. This little bit right here, and see, just a little lighter, and I've got it more than I want. So I'll wet the brush and then erase some of it. Just soften that. Look at that. Look at that beautiful highlight I've got on that vase, which I think is just neat, right? And it's just, you know, and you've got a little dark under here, like that. And you've got a little bit of light under here. So, I mean, that's a really nice, I would say that's really nice the way that did on the vase. I mean, I'm very, very pleased with that. And let's see, he brought this little leaf down, all the way down into here.
Hey, we'd like to thank Christine for the donation.
Christine, thank you so much.
She says this painting is beautiful.
Thank you. And it's pretty big, isn't it? I'm glad we did it big, because you could do it. You can see you could do it small too, right? Something similar, and you'd be okay. But it's outstandingly nice, big. I think.
Outstandingly nice. I like that.
Do you like that? Didn't you used to say that kind of stuff in your?
No, I'm sorry. I did not say that.
No.
Outstandingly nice. You
never said that?
No. Sorry.
Well, what's wrong with you guys?
It wasn't in my vocabulary. I'm a guy. We don't say that stuff.
Is that what it is? Okay. I mean, I don't know. Just we say stuff like that. I don't know. You know, I had 3 brothers, but I wasn't raised with them, so I don't know what they used to say, except they used to tease me all the time. All right. So I want something. He had a little dark right on here like that. What? Your sister too?
I had 3 sisters, and I ignored them.
Did you?
Yeah. They were on sale.
He just decided they weren't there. We won't play anymore with this. I would say we did pretty well with this. Don't you think so? As far as getting the color and this.
I think you've done Paul proud.
You know, I mean, just talking about what can you pull off in an hour or two, right? And
well, you've done this in an hour and a half.
So an hour and a half. Okay, so while I'm finishing up this painting, why don't we tell people how they're going to win it? This little tiny one right here. A second.
Can you put the ground over a canvas that's already been painted with leftover palette paint?
Well, you know what? Those are questions you should call Golden and ask them. That's what the technical department at Golden is for.
Yeah,
I would think I would do it, but I don't know that you should do it. And certainly not over an oil painting, but over an acrylic, you can pretty much do anything over it. It's acrylic.
Well, it's an acrylic bind.
Yeah, so yeah, you could probably
stick.
put it over an existing canvas. I don't know why you couldn't, but I mean, just still.
I guess we'll have to try that sometime.
You know,
okay, we're going to have a giveaway, and this is going to be the secret word you have to put on the questionnaire is tulip. Can you imagine something silly like that?
We're going to do tulips? Is that our secret word?
I'm going to give you a link in a second. I'm going to get the... Can you move...
Well, I wanted to just work on this painting a little bit, John.
Yeah, slide that. Get on the canvas. Get on the table. Good.
Here.
There we go.
I'm working on this picture a little bit now,
okay,
you guys? I just needed to
All
work
right,
on this a little bit. We're going to give it away here.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on this one.
All right.
I just wanted to show you what you could do with this.
You're going to be going to this website, fill it in. Now, on the website, on the questionnaire, it asks you, do you want to get the newsletter? It defaults to yes. If you do not, please say no. Because it costs us money to send these things out to you people. If you don't want it, we don't want to send it to you.
Yeah.
And we can certainly eliminate you. So you're going to go to that website. Sammy put it in there again for him. You're going to fill it out. It's going to ask you your name, email, phone number is not required. Just handy if we needed to get a hold of you for some reason. And the tulip will be the word you want to put in the text box and anything else you'd like to say. It's going to go for the next 10 minutes. Entries. Alexa, give me a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
And we're off and running.
Okay, now, just so you're wondering, if those of you who came in late, these are these little tiny, these are little palette paper. There's this real canvases, and whenever we get through with like a palette, we'll just cover either some 8x10 canvases, or we'll just cover it with the leftover paint. And they're good for like little practice canvases, or, you know, painting on. We have a lot of little canvases like that, so this is sort of a fun thing to do. So can you... There, we'll just do a little bit of an outline here like that on our tulips, right? Going to come back up here
Well,
with
that's a
some
nice
colors.
looking painting. That's
Yeah,
a
we're
little
just
sketch
gonna-
painting.
Just for a little sketch painting, right? But just somebody said, what's the difference between how you do it on a big canvas and the same kind of image on the smaller one? And I mean, you know, it just it's not that. There we go. Got a little shadow under here like that. And remember, when you're talking about doing stuff like this is why we're doing it. Where's my color
If you
wheel?
get it in Surveyor, try it again because most are getting through. I'm on it with no problem.
So
Refresh.
see, orange is opposite turquoise on the color wheel. Everybody see that? So if you take a little bit of magenta and yellow, which we thought we had some yellow out, don't we have it? Where'd the yellow go? Yellow, yeah, yellow here, yeah. Okay. So I'm just wanting to show how you can play with colors when you're painting. And then, you know, people used to sit there and say they loved my colors, right? Well, now look what happened here next to that turquoise, see? See how suddenly that got really pretty. And I might put a little of that color up here. And remember, you can play with your backgrounds. You're never stuck with anything, right? You can start bringing some colors up places. You know, you can take a page out of the book of your old dead artists, right? And play with stuff, right? Just, you know, play with your backgrounds. Be a little free. If you do something small like this, you're not going to be so married to it in the sense that, oh gosh, if I make a mistake, my life's over, kind of thing, right? You won't care. Just it'll allow you to loosen up. How's that? Loosen up.
William caught you. You mentioned canvas boards, but you didn't say anything about them. Should you use them or not?
Yeah, canvas boards are really inexpensive to paint on, and they're horrible to paint on, in my opinion, normally. But if you use either modeling paste or absorbent ground on them, and just prep a bunch of them at one time, because they're super cheap. And then, you know, then they're marvelous. They're as nice as anything to paint on. And if you travel, they fit flat in your suitcase. That, you know, they disappear. They're lovely. And again, they're very inexpensive. They, you know, 8x10, 9x12 is a pretty good size for those. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Yeah, can't say that enough. Yeah, canvas boards are really a good thing for that, right? And then let's see. Let's put a little bit of a highlight on this vase here, like that, see? Just something on the little vase. There, see? Just playing with color.
Playing with color. I love it.
just playing with color. And this would just happen to be a background that we had.
One of my creations.
John just happened to make it, and I'm just saying that could you do a let's see, let's shake that. I didn't shake that. I know you shake that with the cap on so you don't spray paint across the room. Guys know that. And this is like, I don't know, we're into 2 or 3 months on these Posca pens, and they still haven't dried out on us. I think that's extraordinary. Huh?
No, we had somebody tell us they've had theirs 7 years. Still writes the day it was new.
Yeah, and I can't say that for any other pen I bought. In fact, when I was cleaning up the studio, I must have thrown out about 30 of the wrong, had all dried up. Some were still, because I'd buy them on sale, and I hadn't even taken them out of the package and they were gone. I mean, that's the difference. All right, so there's our little picture that we'll be sending out to somebody.
Alexa, how much time's left on the timer?
You have one timer, a 10-minute timer, with about 5 minutes and 20 seconds left.
5 minutes to go, people. 5 minutes to go. I love doing that.
5 minutes to go on the
Can
timer.
you tint absorbent ground or modern place the same as gesso for your backgrounds? Absolutely. That's what we did on this one. You want to on absorbent ground because when you apply it, you can't see it.
Not too much, but just some. I would tint it a little bit so you can see something.
Just something.
Yeah.
When I did that canvas, that white canvas, I couldn't tell where I'd been.
Yeah.
I did that big 12 by 16 for you, and I don't know. It was a tough one. It's tough.
Yeah.
I would tint it a little bit, just something so it's off white.
Yeah, all right, so I'm just going to put this, all right, so we'll put our painting back now, you guys. That's the one we're going to be, this is the one we're going to be sending out. Oh, guys, I hope you like that. Where's the, some of the ones we've had. If you have missed some of the newest things we've done on YouTube, if you haven't, one of the funniest videos we ever made was this one. Just the dialogue between John and I and some of the jokes and stories we told. I think that was the one where I told you how I became a spy. Was that this one? One of them. I think so. And then, I didn't become a spy. And this was one we did with the collaboration with Cinnamon, my daughter, the art Sherpa, and Angela Anderson. Cabins in the Snow. That was, last month. We've had some great pictures this month on, on YouTube and also on our website. One of my new favorites is this one. And boy, I wish I had Andrews to show you. Well, maybe I'll show it to you next time. This one is called Virginia Park. Because the secret is my real name is Virginia. Ginger's a nickname.
No.
Yeah. Cinnamon's is a real name. And Honey, my granddaughter, that's her real name. But Ginger's is a nickname. And my fourth grade teacher gave it to me. He gave every kid in the fourth grade a new name. He said, "What's your name?" "Well, your name's now Ginger." I said, "Okay." So then I came home and told my mother that I would no longer be answering to Virginia. Ginger would be the only thing I would be listening to, because this is what Mr. I still remember his name, Mr. Lamson said, because he was an artist, a really good artist, and he had me totally mesmerized. And my parents just went along with it. I remember one girl was named, I don't remember her real name, but he named her Putty.
Putty?
Putty, which is horrible. Right?
I wonder if she stuck with that one.
I don't know, but I stayed with mine, even though on my driver's license it still says Virginia. We didn't change it legally.
Well, that's your legal name.
Yeah, but I go by Ginger, and have had for years. Okay, so anyway, that's Virginia Park, and I love this. And this is done in the Thomas Kincaid style, and I show you how to do all this blending. I'll tell you what, this painting would be fantastic using absorbent ground as the background.
Wouldn't it?
I'm telling you, it would be a piece of cake to get all this. Really, honestly, it would be great fun.
We may want to revisit that and do it bigger.
Well, some of these things you can do bigger. Do you see the painting behind me, guys? Can you see this painting behind me?
It looks like Starry Night.
This is Van Gogh's Starry Night. And that was done, for those of you who missed what we did last night, was it Saturday, we did this painting, a smaller version of this painting with the pumpkins, all right? See this? And do you see what we put on here was a gloss gel medium, which I had a jar of that around here somewhere, John. I don't know where it went. We put golden gloss gel medium on here in big globs. I show you how to do that at the end of the video on this pumpkin. All right, but now this is just put on after the fact, okay? But you still get the effect of that. You can do this with paper prints and everything. We were saying a lot of artists did that. But then this painting behind me, and also the one on YouTube, we have Starry Night on YouTube. This one is done so thickly, and the paint's like this thick, and it's this thick because it's got about 50 to 60% gel medium in it, heavy gel medium and paint, and that's how I got that thick texture. Oh, cool, right? And that's like a 30 by 36 painting behind me, giant Starry Night.
Alexa, how much time's left?
You have one timer, a 10-minute timer, with about 50 seconds left.
Ooh, 60 seconds. Last 60 seconds, people.
Down, 60 seconds, counting down to, we're going to mail this to someone. I don't care where you live in the world. We'll put it in an envelope and send it to you. Okay?
It has to be in the world, though. We will not ship to Mars yet.
No, not Mars yet. And we will varnish it before it goes. It'll get varnished before we go. All right, so we're going to send that to somebody.
I think I missed this answer to this question. Do we add gesso and then the paste? I think you missed the whole...
No, you don't add gesso.
There's no gesso.
Not gesso. Gesso is just something that you shouldn't ever be fooling with. You don't even need it. Your canvases all come gessoed, friends. You don't need the gesso. If you're going to buy anything, buy modeling paste, buy all kinds of other things.
Absorbent ground. Buy the fun stuff.
Buy stuff, zinc white. I mean, there's all kinds. Gesso's the last thing you need to buy. The only time you might... Okay, here's another... that's our timer. We're
That's
up.
the official timer.
But I'm going to finish the sentence. Sorry, I'm going to finish the sentence.
Alexa,
okay?
off.
Here's the thing. Another place where you can save money when you're looking for cheap ways to paint stuff, I'd say Michael's is one of the better ones if you live in the States because they have great sales. Judith, is always, if you haven't friended me yet on Ginger Cook Live on Facebook, Ginger Cook is gingercook.92, ginger.cook.92, I think, on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
gingercook.92 on Facebook. Our good friend Judith Qatar is the town crier of sales for Michael's. If there's a Michael's sale, she will tell us.
And she posts it for us. And we appreciate that, Judith.
We really appreciate it. So you want to know stuff. Sometimes Eric does too, but I got to say Judith is really on it. And Michael's has these great sales. And so buy your stuff on sale when you can, right? Buy your stuff on sale when you can. And then the other thing I would tell you to do is to, some places like Home Depot, okay, will take masonite, a big sheet of thin masonite, and they will cut it up for you for free.
Well, at least they used to. No, we haven't done that in a while.
They used to. It was either Lowe's or Home Depot. Pretty much just Home Depot would cut it up for free. So you got this giant 60 by something sheet of, like a sheet of plywood, but it's a masonite, and they'll cut it up. And then what you would use the gesso for is you would gesso that. 2 or 3 coats of gesso on that. Got to put this other little shadow on this one right here.
All right, we're going from 107 to 100. Oh, my goodness, we have to talk to the group. To 227.
All right, 227. Okay, so we have 227 is the number of entries we have on that.
107, we have 120.
We have 120, okay?
All right, here we go.
So,
I wonder if we can use the phone. Let me see if Google can do it.
Well, don't mind. Listen, Alexa's always been doing it. Have her do it. Quit fooling around.
It was hard to understand her.
Uh-huh.
Can't we just try Google? We're still trying to find the right employee.
Are we?
Yeah.
I didn't know we were. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Between 107 and 227.
All right, that's what we want.
Pick a number between 107 and 227. Well, that's stupid. It won't give me a number.
All right, please ask Alexa, because she was doing it fine.
Give me a number between 107 and 227.
Your random number between 107 and 227 is 113.
113 is the lucky winner. Now you're going to say, what is that number? Well, when your entries come in, it's assigned a form number, and that's the one that wins. Denise McNichol. Denise, if you're out there, are you out there, Denise? Denise, number 113.
All right, so this is just something our live members get. Denise has won this fun little quick sketch, painting sketch we did today. We'll send that to her, personalized original sketch by Ginger Cook. We're going to send it to you. Thank you for playing with us, and we hope you guys enjoyed the fun things about doing this Cezanne.
your desk,
All
it's a
Cezanne
mess.
vase. Yeah.
Looks like a hurricane has hit.
I need to glaze this. I'm looking at his and looking at mine. Like, see the differences? You ever play that game? See the differences? And see this
Oh,
one
we're going
right
to do
there?
that to one of the paintings, too.
Yeah, see, I just had to tone that down right there. See
What'd you tone down? The white?
This white here,
The bottom white?
the middle one, and
okay.
then this one, and then the top one, we're going to lighten up, see? We just had to tone down the middle one.
So, Denise, please use the Contact Us form on the gingercookalive.gallery website and give us your mailing address.
Oh, we will
and we'll
get
take this out towards the end of the week because we want to varnish it and let it dry.
We want to, yeah, absolutely. We're going to get it all varnished and let
And
it
Sue
dry.
Clark, yours is being mailed tomorrow. I just saw her name go flying by.
Okay.
Andrew, glad to see you made it. I didn't see them all night. So all these people are showing up now.
Okay, so you guys, for those of you who are wanting to know the final thing, this was a Paul Cezanne. This was done on a 10 by 20 canvas that we had covered with absorbent ground using sort of a beige background, added a little bit of buff titanium color to the absorbent ground so we could see it, and that's kind of this beige color you're seeing right here. And it had dried for over 24 hours. Okay, actually it's been drying for weeks, but
Months.
But you need it for 24 hours. And this is what we thought was interesting about Paul Cezanne. Even though he did that as an oil painting, it felt like a watercolor. And I was trying to say, how could I get this effect of the background and that kind of watercolor feeling? And how I got that effect was by using that absorbent ground. And I think, and so if you haven't tried that, I'm telling you, try it. It's fun.
Okay, I've blown up on the screen. You have a Paul's right next to Ginger's. Put your vote in. Which one you like better? All right, people, thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Central.
With another great, surprising adventure. And we have no idea what we're painting because sometimes I decide at the last minute.
We don't have a clue.
We don't have a clue, but we'll do another giveaway tomorrow night because we're enjoying doing those.
We are. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate you viewing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We'd like to hit 50,000 before the end of the year. Let's pop our number up here real quick before we leave so we know where we're at. Looks like 43,123. Appreciate those. 43,123. We're looking for another 7,000 people. You must know 7,000 friends.
Oh, and can I say something that I'm really distressed about? I hate to end it on a note, right?
Oh, do you have to?
Can I do it anyway?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just distressed.
We'll see
just
what
a
happens.
personal distress for me.
Please.
So I'm an audible book junkie. I admit it. Okay. I mean, I listen to those things. They're going 20 hours a
24/7.
day in the house. You know, I go to sleep with one of them on with the sleeping timer. I go through books. I've got this way of getting books like for cheap because I figured out this way to do it. And I listen to the best. I paint and listen to books. I mean, I'm listening in the car. I'm not even a good conversationalist. Poor John is so nice because a lot of times I just want to listen to my book. When we drive places, we have books on and so forth. Well, Audible was giving away, and I'm telling you, I'm one of their best customers. I never saw this email. Last month, they started an email where they were giving away $50,000 BMW. What were they? Volvos, and they were giving away 50 of these cars, 50 of them. And all you had to do, was to take a video, which like we're short of video equipment, and talk about them for
30 seconds.
60 seconds on why it was a good
30
thing.
seconds.
That was 30 seconds, and then all your friends vote for you, and then you're into the 100. That gets you. They're only going to judge 100 of these things, but you need your million friends to vote for you. And if I'd have known, I know you would have voted for me, and I might have won that car. Just saying.
Now, as a disclaimer,
we don't really
you
want the
done?
car. Yeah, I'm just saying. And if one of you had entered, I would have voted for you. You know what I mean?
So
Just
let's
saying.
go back. They sent out an announcement via email. Ginger has 3 email accounts. She has 6,782 emails that have been unopened. Just saying. Thank you all. Enjoyed the night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Say goodnight, Ginger.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
John. Good night, you guys.
I'm a student, I say with glee, of Ginger Cook's Academy. Take your time and do not rush. Use ruby satin, silver brush. Don't use black and mix the green. Learn what blend and grayscale mean. Yes, I hope each day to earn coaching praises as I learn. I'll be an artist, wait and see. Ginger means the world to me.